Hello, 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 and welcome to Jesse and Melva Live. We, again, are so happy that you joined us, and we're so excited about today's show. I didn't call it a session, I called it a show. Today's show. And this is because the journey that we have guided you on or shared with you in terms of how we guided a woman that we're calling Veronica to overcome the pain and the frustration that she was feeling as a result of her husband having multiple affairs over 20 plus years together. And so this time we are going to take you through her 9th step. And this is part of the big picture for her plan for her own personal transformation, healing, and growth. And this is no matter what her husband decides to do. So those of you who are joining us for the first time, I'll give you a brief synopsis about Veronica and why we are taking her and sharing this journey with you. Veronica and Vernon have been married for over 20 years. And now this is a couple that pretty much have a good life together. But there's this big elephant in the room. And the big elephant in the room over these years is that Vernon has had multiple affairs. And every time he gets caught, I mean, he just doesn't stop on his own. He gets caught. Then he promises that he's going to stop and it's going to be better and different this time. And it's not. It has not been. So it got to the point that Veronica said no more and that she was going to take care of herself. And so she asked Vernon to leave. And so now she's on her own and she's doing her own healing, growth, and transformation work. And the reason why it's so important that we're sharing her story is because we know that many people are going through challenges in the relationship. It doesn't necessarily have to be an affair. Veronica's is about an affair. It could be a betrayal of trust in some other area as well. Pain is pain. And there's got to be a way to get on the other side of the pain and turn what my mother used to say, lemons into lemonades. I'm not surprised, but it's so interesting to me how much I have been quoting my mother over the years, and she's been gone for a while. But her wisdom stays with me. Of course, you don't, when you're growing up, you think you know more than your parents. But anyway, so we're covering part 9 this time. And we're going to share with you how this nugget, she's doing her plan of action for moving forward and getting on the other side of the torture. Yeah, the torture that she's been feeling from her experience. So we're going to show you how this step provided healing, growth, and transformation for her, and how just the process can support you in healing, growth, and transformation. And then at the end, we're going to share with you her next step. And it's a challenge that we're going to invite all of you to join her in and us in. Okay, so let's do a quick review of what has been accomplished so far. So Veronica, she knows how to create a safe space for her to just process all her feelings and her thoughts. Because if she stays stuck in the negative feelings and the hurt and what have you, she cannot make any progress to turn anything around. The other thing is that she answered the question of what she can and cannot change. And she discovered that she can change her response to her pain. She cannot change Vernon and his decisions, but she can change her response and how she thinks about it. She also decided how she wants to feel. So if you're going to have a focus in terms of a result that you want, since feelings are paramount when a person is going through a challenge, even if a person is going through something joyful, Those feelings are important. So she decided what she wants to feel. She also figured out her vision. It's like what she wants to experience inside, no matter what Vernon does, and any other life challenge that she has. How does she want to feel inside? Powerful, peaceful, and hopeful is what she decided. So in terms of tapping into those feelings, she rated where she is on a scale of 1 to 10, and she discovered that she has a little work to do. And she has been doing over these past sessions that we've shared with you. We identified the gap that she's in between where she is and where she wants to be, so that she knows exactly her starting point toward moving forward. And any progress that she makes moving forward, she can celebrate. And she has taken many steps so far, so she's got a lot to celebrate. And then we clarified her values. And so part of her plan is 3 prongs. One is attending to her mental health, her thoughts, how she thinks about what's going on, turn the negativity into thoughts that support her feeling more hopeful, peaceful, and powerful. And also part 2 of that plan is attending to her spiritual health, because this experience that she has with Vernon, as well as other experiences in her life, they have meaning. And she got in touch with that last time. So this time, we're going to share with you the 3rd part of her 3-prong plan components. And that is attending to her physical health. So let's talk about that for a second. Because when we talk about physical health, excuse me, Jesse and I are referring to what needs to be done, what can be done to contribute to optimum health. So there's mental health, spiritual health, and then it's important to attend to the physical health as well. And so when we talk about physical health, what are we talking about? We're talking about physical activity, we're talking about physical exercise, we're talking about balanced and wholesome meals, we're talking about proper sleep, we're talking about not smoking, and we're talking about reducing alcohol and avoiding drug use. So those are the components that we're talking about that we're going to share with you how it relates to Veronica. So here's the thing, excuse me. Veronica realizes that she neglected her physical health along with her mental health and her spiritual health when she was going through a mild depression. Now her depression makes sense, because she has been through a lot, and that was quite a blow to her to have that experience of betrayal again. She knows that all those different components that I just shared with you, the physical exercise, the physical activity, the exercise, the balanced meals, sleep, not smoking, monitoring alcohol use, and trying to get Jesse in here, y'all. Okay. All right. And so, and she knows that all of this promotes physical wellness. It promotes improved health. It improves longevity. Now, when I talk about longevity, and I think when you talk about longevity, we're not talking about having a long life and being sick. We're talking about having longevity, having a long life and being healthy and happy and being able to laugh in the morning and to go through stuff when you have to go through stuff, to turn those lemons into lemonade. We're talking about that, having those qualities with longevity. And we're also talking about being more productive in life, not just in the marriage, but in the whole life. And so when Veronica went into a mild depression, understandably, when she went into mild depression, her brain, her mind was absorbed with all of those hurtful feelings. And so the things that she used to do, she was no longer doing. See, one of the things that she enjoyed doing was ballroom dancing. And what was depressing at this time is that Vernon is her ballroom dancing partner. Well, since they're on recess, so to speak, Vernon is not her partner. The other thing that she is not doing that she used to do that she enjoyed was yoga, because yoga gave her peace. Plus, it helped her to stretch, and we tapped into a little yoga, and it helped us a lot. We need to go back, and she did her yoga at least 5 times a week. It helped her to stay centered, and she just felt good. It just helped her to feel good. The other thing that she did that she's no longer doing is that she was a stickler about eating healthy, wholesome food. Well, when she was depressed, she didn't feel like cooking. And so when she was hungry, what did she do? She went to fast food.
Oh, okay.
And not only did she not feel well, she started gaining weight. Her sleep was interrupted because she was always waking up thinking about what happened to her and the fact that she didn't deserve that. So she wasn't getting proper sleep. Now, she had stopped smoking over 20 years ago. She found herself buying cigarettes. I think her brand was Cools. I think that's what it was. And she found herself reaching for cigarettes to try to calm her down. And then she also noticed that she was drinking a whole lot more than she used to. Because she would enjoy her wine with her meals and, socializing with her wine. But now she was drinking quite a bit. She would be by herself. She would be feeling lonely. She would be feeling terrible. And so she found that as one way to cope. And so since she never used drugs, that wasn't something that she began to do to cope during this period of time. So that's what happened that was the result of her feeling mildly depressed and just getting off track and taking care of herself in that way. So I think you can guess why Veronica and all the Veronicas of the world and all of us, why it's important to take care of our physical health. See, we believe the same thing that Veronica does. We believe that our body is a gift from God. And therefore, it's a sacred temple. And therefore, it's important for us to take care of it. Because when someone gives you a gift, it is not polite to not take care of it and enjoy it.
Right.
We also believe that taking care of the body as well as the mind and soul, spiritual part, it does promote optimal health and functioning and well-being. Now, research says that having optimal health reduces the risk of chronic illness. So I watch all these shows, Dr. Oz, The Doctors, and shows like that, because I'm fascinated by the research, and I'm also fascinated by the kinds of things that people do to maintain and optimize their health. And so I have heard before, and you have probably heard before, that people who have lots and lots of money, if they do not have good health, they would trade everything that they have in those dollars to have optimal health. Now, that's what I heard. Did you hear that, Jesse?
Yeah, and I'm reminded of a story I heard about this couple that was out for dinner, and an older gentleman came and sat down near them. And this older gentleman apparently had some real health problems. And so what he was eating was like some cottage cheese and some things of that nature, and
probably applesauce.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I'm sorry.
All right. And so he went over to the other couple who were sitting there eating sirloin steak and you know, those kinds of really tasty foods. And the older gentleman said to him, to this younger man, you know, I'd give $1 million if I could sit down and eat a meal like you are.
Yeah.
So sometimes these are things that we take for granted, when in reality, as you were saying, Melva, they're really a gift from God. And we need to take care of and protect and do what we need to do in order to keep these temples of God healthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I do believe God's trying to express through us,
Right.
in the highest way.
Right.
Kind of difficult to express through a broken down temple.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So, so what happened? What did Veronica decide to do? Because she got in touch with how she was sabotaging herself. It's one thing to be in pain. It's another thing to be sabotaging yourself when you're in pain and you want to feel better.
Right.
Now, she didn't quite do what Cher did in, what was that movie, Moonstruck? Remember, somebody was going through something and she slapped them and said, get over it. You remember that movie? It was a long time ago.
But I'm trying to remember who it was who did the slapping.
It was Cher. Cher slapped.
It was Cher.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. So whoever she slapped. But anyway, so Veronica's slap was, the pain was too much. And she realized, it's like, wait a minute. Vernon doesn't have anything to do with the choices I'm making right now. He has nothing to do with that. I cannot change the fact that he's continuing to have those affairs, but I do have control, and I can make decisions about how I'm going to take care of myself. So that was her slap. That was her self-slap. And so she made some decisions, and some good ones too. And I'm going to share with you what her decisions were. So she decided to get help. And she decided to get support, because when you're going through something, it is important. You don't have to go through it alone. Right. There are a lot of people who think that they can just soldier through alone, and some people do. There's more of a healing balm when there's support. Mm-hmm. Harville Hendrix says, we're born in relationship, we're wounded in relationship, and we heal in relationship. And so she decided that she wanted to do the healing in relationship. Now, some of it she did in relationship with herself, and I'll give you examples of what she did just from what she didn't do. She flipped it all around. She really did love ballroom dancing. So she decided, oh, I'm going back to ballroom dancing. And what she discovered was she didn't have to go back with Vernon, because they hadn't worked out that part yet. So she discovered, like, I can have a partner. I don't have to be in a romantic relationship to have ballroom dancing and enjoy it. She had a wonderful time when she went there. I could also add that the partner that she had kind of had eyes for her, but she didn't pay attention to that part. She just had fun, right? So that's one thing that she did. The other thing that she did was she went back to her yoga class, because being around like-minded people working together for the same outcome, that was just so supportive, nurturing, and healing for her. And she also did her yoga practices at home. She got back to, she didn't do it like 5 times a week in the beginning. First, she just went to the class once a week, and then she added like 1 day practice at home, and then she added 2 days. So gradually over time, she got back to the five times a week. And then, now she still didn't feel like cooking, but she decided that her health was worth her taking care of herself. So she signed up for one of those healthy cooking class, not healthy cooking class, because she wanted support. She signed up for one of those services where they prepare your meals and then they deliver them one time a week. We got one of those. And so she was able to, she didn't have to cook from scratch because she likes to cook everything from scratch. So she got help with her meals. So she had enough in her delivery so that she could cook some and then have help from that delivery. So she was back to eating healthy, wholesome meals again. She went back to meditation. She decided that, and this is part of her spiritual practice too, that she would have sacred time for herself every morning. She used to have it before she got depressed. So she decided to go back to that. So she started meditating again, and she began to feel more peaceful, hopeful, and powerful. She got rid of her cigarettes. She filled up with so much nurturing on the inside. She didn't need that. And now that she had turned her negative thoughts from being a victim into being a victor, she had internal support to keep her building the momentum for moving forward. So she reduced her alcohol intake from drinking just to be drinking. I mean, she still had her what do you call it, libation, with her meals sometimes because she really enjoyed it, but she was not overdoing it. So what were the results for Veronica, and what could the results be for you if you had a plan in place, if you're going through something and you kind of gave up in some way? What happened is, number one, she felt good about the decision she made. And number two, she felt good about the results. And you notice I use the word felt, because she felt peaceful, powerful, and hopeful for her life, that she could face any challenge that was coming her way, not just with Vernon, but in any situation, including at work. So I just want you to think about that for a moment in terms of what we covered this time. Just want you to think about Victoria's story and her plan for overcoming. My brain just went back to I'm dating myself again. Back to the 60s, you know, when the Martin Luther King days, when we shall overcome and what have you. She decided that she was going to overcome the challenge that she was facing. And now she's got all of these pieces in place. She knows what to do for her healing, her growth, and further development to be a better Veronica, no matter what happened. She knows all the pieces to the puzzle to move forward. And now it's time for her to put it in action. And that's what we're going to do next time. I'll tell you more about that in a second. So what about you? It's your turn. What challenge are you going through? Like I said earlier, it doesn't have to be a challenge. It doesn't have to be betrayal. It doesn't have to be an affair. But what challenge are you going through? What is your plan to have your mental, spiritual, and physical health in alignment with the results that you want?
Right.
If you do not have a plan, we would like to support you to get started. We are still inviting complimentary telephone consultations with both of us. Complimentary, meaning it's a bargain for what it costs to meet with both of us at the same time for 45 minutes to an hour. So we invite you to consider that, because we want to support people to get started. We know how sweet it is. I mean, we've been through some challenges over our lifetime. And matter of fact, the tools that we have now that we're sharing, we wish we had way, way, way back when, before we even became a couple. And even the challenges that we had as a couple over these 40 plus years, it took us a long time to really fine tune all of this. We were doing it, but we didn't have it fine tuned like this in a system. So anyway, so if you would like to have a jump start and you would like help, we invite you to go to JESSEandMELVA.com, www.jesseandmelva.com. www.jesseandmelva.com/contact us. Is it contact us, Brian? Or just contact us? And oh, it's on the front page. Okay, thank you. And we'll be happy to set up a telephone consultation with you to support you to have a jump start. Because we are preparing ourselves to prepare Veronica to have a 5-day challenge. And that's what we're going to be sharing with you next time, because we would like for you to join us, because that 5-day challenge is inspiring, it's uplifting, and you'll be able to experience some results. It's not something that you have to do with your partner. If they want to do it with you, that'll be more fun. But you can do it by yourself and still have results. Veronica's ready. We're ready to get that challenge started, and we hope that you join us. So with that in mind, we want to thank you once again. Mr. J, do you have any closing thoughts?
Well, I continue to think about couples that we have known where there were challenges in their relationship, and one of them decides that they're going to chart a new path. And what's interesting that's happened in those situations is when they make the decision to change, the partner decides to change.
Or they leave.
Or they leave. That's another way of changing.
That's true.
You know, so you have absolutely nothing to lose by charting out your own path and deciding that you're going to be happy, and you're going to first learn and then implement those things that make you happy and are fulfilling in your life. And it'll be interesting to see what the outcome is going to be.
Yeah, because we support all of us, including ourselves, to tap into the best version of ourselves that we can possibly tap into. I mean, because the gold is there. It's all inside. You know, we talk about the hidden treasures within. Veronica tapped into some of the hidden treasures. She has more. But she tapped into these to get her started. And we want to support you to tap into the treasures within you as well. So again, thank you for joining us. We look forward to next time. We look forward to inviting you to the challenge so that you can be on the journey to tap more and more into your best self. We're trying to do it too. Take care.
Watch Live with Jesse and Melva right here on Solivity TV every Sunday at 5:30 Eastern. Solivity Magazine brings you the best in inspiration on Solivity TV. Check out our new shows. Mark your calendars for Solivity Magazine shows by going to solivity.com now.